DC Nation, what is up? We're back with another video, and this video I'll be covering all the new DC comics that came out this past week of February 22nd, 2022, the special Tuesday, and this week we had a lot of cool new DC comics. Starting out my pick of the week, I got for you guys Robin number 11. This issue is done so well. It concludes the first storyline, Joshua Williamson's run on Robin. And yeah, it's not a big action-heavy issue. It's just an issue that ties up loose ends. Now, we still do get action. Like, we see Connor, Hawk, Robin, or Damian Flatline, Respawn, and Ravager go to Corto Maltese to take down Master Dusk, and there we get a send-off for Ravager and Respawn temporarily, for the time being, right? Because they run into each other, Respawn tries to get away, and Ravager, Rose, she's like, hey, where are you going? I knew you'd try to do this, you'd try to be in the pack and then leave. Who are you? And we see Respawn reveal his identity to Rose, but not the audience. So we still don't know who he is. But going off the dialogue, I don't think it's Grant. I actually don't think it's Grant. Like, really, I know I've been thinking that for a while, and that's been the big theory. But going off some of the dialogue, when Rose is like, how? It can't be. Like, she said certain dialogue, and I'm kind of suspecting that maybe Deathstroke has another son. And I'm not talking about Jericho. Like, it may be Jericho, but I barely doubt it. I'm thinking there's actually an all-new son. Like, a new son to add to the mythos, and that'll be Respawn. I think that could be very interesting. But yeah, Respawn, Ravager, they got a plane, they take off, and we'll continue what happens with them in Deathstroke Inc., the newest issue of that series. But going back to Damian, Connor, Hawk, and Flatline, they make it to Corto Maltese, they go after Master Dusk. We get a really cool double-page spread of the fights, just seeing Connor, Hawk take down Master Dusk once and for all, and just that dynamic between Damian and Connor Hawk. It's so dope, the son of the Batman and son of Green Arrow, and we recently got an image that CBR posted, that it's an image in one of the upcoming issues of Robin, where it shows Damian and Connor hanging out, and you see Batman and Green Arrow above them in the sky. And it's a really dope image. Like, it's on the screen right now. You guys, some of your thoughts on that image down below. It's one of my favorite images I've seen of the series thus far. It looks really cool, and it just shows how much of a great idea the Damian and Connor Hawk bond is. Now, before leaving Corto Maltese, Connor Hawk, he runs into Lady Shiva, and we find out that Lady Shiva, she enjoyed the Lazarus tournament because she knew Connor Hawk would win. She was testing him, and she tells him that there might be another tournament coming. Be ready. So we might get a Connor Hawk solo series, and I'd be so down for that. Like, finally this character is getting good spotlight. Now that might happen, we might get a solo series, or we may see a subplot where Connor Hawk is competing at a different tournament in this series. Maybe, but I would prefer the solo series. Like, just a solo series titled Hawk. Simple as that, would be really dope. The son of the Green Arrow going on adventures, and yeah, from there, we see all the characters, they have a party, they all hang out, we get some loose ends tied up, we see Talia al Ghul really taking lead, just this dynamic between Talia and Ra's al Ghul. It's different, but very interesting. We see Mother Soul, she gets taken down, and I just like it. Seeing Talia al Ghul go up to the other fighters that are in the Lazarus tournament being like, alright, you can join the League of Shadows, or you go off, we'll let you run away, but keep in mind, if you do, you're an enemy to us now. And I think that's very good. Like, it sets up some interesting storylines that will come up probably in the upcoming Shadow War events. But at the end of the issue, we see Damian and Flatline. They have a very intimate moment. They finally kiss. And we see Ra's al Ghul, he gets this great line where Talia is right next to him, and Ra's al Ghul says, huh, he's just like his father. And I really like that line. Like, it's a very simple line, but it fits so well. Now, from there, we see Damian. He's starting to leave the island. He's gonna go back to Gotham. And Joshua Williamson could just end the issue just like that. Like, alright, I'm going back to Gotham. That's enough to leave readers excited. But he adds something else in there. Because this whole issue, we get a bunch of mentions to the Lazarus resin and how Mother Soul's been using it, and how Talia al Ghul, she talks about the origin of it, and Damian gets a hold of it. He gets his own little sample of it, and his plan now is to get back to Gotham City and resurrect Alfred Pennyworth. Yep, he's gonna try to bring Alfred back from the dead, and that final image, like the tension leading up to it, and the final splash image of the graveyard in Gotham, and the lightning striking the stone of Alfred Pennyworth, it gets me super hyped. Like, this is a great way to end this first storyline and segue into the next issue that'll probably set up the Shadow War. So yeah, really good issue, guys. One of my favorite issues of Robin yet, hence why it's pick of the week. If you've been reading this series so far, I highly recommend you pick up this issue. Next up on our list, we got Teen Titans Academy, number 12, and this issue we get the big reveal of Red X. Out of the ashes, Red X rises. Or more like he falls more toward the dirt. Like his character gets diminished even more, and this is a terrible reveal. Like, guys, this issue I did not enjoy. I did not like it all. The previous issue I was kind of disappointed because they had the cover of Red X finally revealed, and they didn't reveal who it was. It was just clickbait. It was just fake cover, you could call it. And the issue itself wrapped up the unkindness storyline in a very rushed manner. The artwork wasn't that good. It was just a weak issue. Going to this issue, though, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Because when this run started in Future State Teen Titans, that 2 issues of the Future State event, where you have Future State Teen Titans number 1 and 2, where we saw this dark future with the unkindness and Red X behind bars. We see Nightwing wearing a Deathstroke mask and trying to get the help from Red X. It was interesting. Like, I actually really liked it, and Hava Sandoval went all out on those issues. It was a very good artwork, good writing by Tim Sheridan there. Now, going to the actual Teen Titans Academy series, it started out okay. Like, it wasn't great. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance, keep going. Like, I really hope they don't drag out this Red X reveal. And then they did. They dragged it out for months and months on end. And finally, we started getting some answers. We get a lot of clues. And I actually made like a video way back, I think like a year ago, where I theorized and I actually took some of you guys' comments to get my thoughts on your guys' theories. And the one big theory that I thought that maybe would actually work was if Red X was Grant Wilson. And I think that'd been really cool, the son of Deathstroke, because right now Grant is gone. He's nowhere to be seen. And looking at Red X, it would make sense. Now, do they do that? No. Which is fine. I'm fine with series subverting my expectations. But here, we see the Red X reveal. It turns out to be Brick Pederoso. And okay, it makes sense. Like, there's some clues along the way, and some of you guys in the comment section of my previous videos have been saying that, but for me, I was hoping it wouldn't be him, because it was a little too obvious, and the character, he's a nobody. Like, who cares about Brick Pederoso? And the whole reveal that, oh, his last name, Pederoso, actually means Robin, and then he's the son of Dick Grayson. At that moment when I was reading it, I was like, okay, this could get interesting. He's the son of Dick. Like, is there a past here? What's going on? I started going from, okay, really, Brick, that's a dumb reveal, to, okay, I'll give it a chance. Then it's revealed that that ain't true. Brick is not Dick's son. Turns out, the Red X that was the mentor to Brick has been just messing with him this entire time. Gave him this fake story so that Brick would hate Nightwing just as much as the original Red X. So, guess what? The second Red X shows up. And guys, to make it clear, Dick, he was the first Red X. The second Red X is the one that we all know and love. The third Red X, unknown. Fourth Red X, Brick. And before you say, how do you know about the third Red X if he's unknown? Well, in this issue, they say that Brick is the fourth Red X. And they don't talk about the third Red X. It's quite complicated. It doesn't make that much sense, and I don't like it. But from there, we see Brick. He's like, what? He goes up to his mentor, the other Red X. He's like, you lied? And then Red X, he talks about his whole motivations. He goes on this whole speech. And we have all these Teen Titans and all these other students just hanging around, and they don't think 1 second to attack Red X. Not at all. And then they just watch as this Red X stabs Brick, impales him, and then Brick dies. At this moment, I'm like, man, this issue's just going downhill. They're fumbling the ball, like they are fumbling this storyline. And then from there, Red X, the one that we know, who looks more like a soldier here, and would make a lot of sense if it's Grant. Guys, Grant being Red X would be so cool. Like, it would connect to Nightwing. Like, it would make sense because Nightwing's had this rivalry with Deathstroke. Deathstroke is the Teen Titans' like biggest villain, so it would make Red X the son of Deathstroke, and they make Red X now the biggest villain because Deathstroke is kind of going along the lines of more of a Batman villain now. Like, he really isn't a Teen Titans villain anymore. Like, I like him being a Teen Titans villain. It's cool. But I also like him being a Batman villain. Like, both of them are good. But I think it would be really cool if Red X was Grant, and then Red X takes that big spot as the big Teen Titans villain. Like, that would be really interesting. But no, they don't do that. At this moment, Red X, he says, deuces. He literally gives like a peace sign, and then he leaves, and Nightwing's like, what? He goes up to Brick. Brick says his final words and dies. From there, Nightwing, he decides to leave. He sees that this Teen Titans Academy has not been built right, but they can have like a second chance, but without him. Nightwing decides to leave, not just because of that, but he thinks he can assist the help from someone else in trying to stop Red X. And they don't reveal who that is, but I'm pretty sure it's Deathstroke. Because in the Future State Teen Titans comics, you see Nightwing with a Deathstroke mask. So I'm guessing that Nightwing and Deathstroke ran into each other, had a fight, confrontation, led to Red X. Honestly, that sounds so cool actually. Nightwing, Deathstroke, and Red X all in the same room. We get a really cool confrontation, a really cool fight. But, unfortunately, we're not going to get that because Teen Titans Academy will be ending on issue number 15. So finally, this story may be interesting. Nightwing is going off, and he may have a really cool confrontation, but I barely doubt it. Now, the final image of this issue, we see Starfire and the other Teen Titans are like, okay, this is a chance for us to start anew. Red X is finally gone, and we can build Teen Titans Academy in a good way. My thoughts? Nah, stop it. Like, you had the chance, like this whole series had the chance to prove to me that this idea of a Teen Titans Academy could be cool, which before the series, I thought that could be a very interesting idea. A Teen Titans Academy? Dope idea. But as the series gone on, it's not been good. And now, oh, give us a second chance. Let's try this again. Nah, stop. I want the original Teen Titans Adventures back, just the OG team, and that's it. Like, no more experimenting for now. We gotta go back to the OG Teen Titans, be with that for a while, get some good storylines, and then maybe we could try something else again. But try to do this little Teen Titans Academy, and just all the OG Teen Titans and these students just be like, okay, well, Red X is gone, so everything's good. Like, I feel like that's just, it's rushed. Like, it doesn't work, and I don't like it. So yeah, guys, Teen Titans Academy, number 12, the reveal of Red X, not good. Is there an interesting story to be told? Yeah, Nightwing, Deathstroke, and Red X confront each other, really cool. Will it happen in the upcoming War for Earth 3 crossover? Maybe. Would that be really cool? Yes. Do I think they'll handle it well? No. I don't really have faith in this creative team. Like Tim Sheridan, I thought he was doing a good job at the beginning. I had full faith in him, but he's just proven countless times now that no, it's just not gonna work. I think you should try something different, try a different character in the DC universe, and stop with the Teen Titans for a little bit, because he's struggling there. I think he'd be a good writer somewhere else. But here, no. So yeah, Teen Titans Academy, number 12, do I recommend it? No. Next up on our list, we got Deathstroke Inc, number 6. In this issue, we see the leader of the secret society of supervillains, Deathstroke. He tries to kill Black Canary. Right at the start, he sends all of his villains now that are like below him to go take down Black Canary. Black Canary defends herself, and then Deathstroke gives her a chance to join him. He's like, hey, we work together pretty well. Like, here's my hand, take it, let's join together. And Black Canary, obviously, she's like, no, I am not joining you. You are crazy. You could have took down the secret society of supervillains, but now you're leading them? So she jumps off a cliff. She makes it back to the Justice League, tells them about Deathstroke. The Justice League, they show up to the area where we've been for most of the story, this like castle you could call it, and they're expecting to see Deathstroke and the secret society of supervillains. They're expected to show up and stop this. But when they show up, Deathstroke is gone. And all these villains, they're gone as well. They have relocated. And Black Canary, she's frustrated about this. But now, her and the Justice League have put Deathstroke on their radar. Now, to Deathstroke, turns out he relocated to somewhere in like a city, like in the middle of a city. Which is very interesting. It kinda, like, it's an area, it's a big area. Like, it's kind of smart on his part to get a bigger area. Now he has room to be like a king, you could say. But at the same time, being in a city, it kind of makes it easier to be found. And that's what happens. At the end of the issue, we see Ravager and Respawn now teaming up after their confrontation in Robin number 11. And they're teaming up to take down their father. Well, we don't know if Deathstroke is Respawn's father. Not totally yet, but I'm pretty sure it is. So, Respawn and Ravager, they're on top of a building, they're looking, they know that Deathstroke has gone crazy again, he's leading all these villains, and they need to stop him. And that's how the issue ends. So this entire issue wraps up the current storyline going on in this series, while also setting up the next issue in an awesome manner. I'm very excited to see Ravager and Respawn take on Deathstroke. I've already seen like a preview image. CBR released the image, and you guys are looking at it right now. Looks really cool. The artwork right there. Now, for the artwork in this issue though, issue number 6 of Deathstroke Inc, it's not that good. Like, it's the weakest components. Like, the writing by Josh Williamson, good. The storyline, very interesting. A really good cliffhanger that gets me hyped for the next issue. But the artwork, it looks rushed. And I'm not a big fan of this art style. Like, it's not my favorites. I miss Howard Porter's artwork from like the very first few issues. I hope he returns, because his artwork was good. Where this artwork is kinda like it don't look that good. So yeah guys, Deathstroke Inc, number 6. Read it for the story, not the artwork. So, would I recommend it? Yeah. Next up on our list, we got DC vs. Vampires, number 5. And this issue, we see Batman and Green Arrow team up against the Justice League. We already know that Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman are vampires. The rest of the league, not yet. Even though at the end of the issue, Superman, it looks like he may become a vampire. I don't think so, though. I don't think Superman, like, a vampire biting into him, could they actually do that? I don't know, but we'll see. It could be very interesting, though. If he does become a vampire, though, that is one unstoppable vampire. Like, he can maybe stop, but it'd be one powerful. Like, it'd be hard for Batman to take down a vampire Superman. And I already know, like, if Superman becomes a vampire, Aquamen is gonna draw some awesome splash images. And that'd be pretty cool. And speaking of Aquamen, his artwork in this issue is amazing. It looks really cool. The different, like, dark tones he adds, and how he does action sequences look really cool. And at the end of the issue, when the Batcave explodes, and we see Batman and Green Arrow with the 2 Robins, Damian and Tim, getting away on the Batmobile. It's a really cool splash image. And yeah, just seeing Tim and Damian show up into the issue was really cool. But my favorite thing out of this issue is just seeing Batman be a complete boss. Like, this just shows Batman be ready for everything. Like, he he's prepped, he's ready. Like the one moment when Superman attacks him and Batman has like a kryptonite capsule in his mouth and he just releases it. Like that's just such a Batman thing to do. So yeah, guys, DC vs. Vampires number 5. It's a great issue, it progresses the plot, good artwork, and a great cliffhanger. So, do I recommend it? Yeah, you should definitely pick up this issue. Next up our list, we got Task Force Z number 5, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Eddie Barrows. I'm already gonna say the artwork is phenomenal in this issue. The action sequences look really cool, and the artwork, it fits the tone so well. It fits the dark tone. It just makes this issue really cool. Like, I'll say that because the entirety of the issue is very action-based. There's a lot of action and some plot progression, but I'm fine with that. Like, the action is really cool. We see Red Hood and his team face off Cagey Beast and his team. One team that comes from Two-Face, one team that comes from Amanda Waller. Waller is trying to defeats Two-Face and take down Task Force Z right before she goes to Earth 3, and she participates in the War for Earth 3 crossover. But in this issue, back to like Red Hood, seeing him face off against like Cagey Beast is so dope. I like this dynamic. Like, Cagey Beast is written very well here. Red Hood, he's in the spotlight, he gets some great moments, and just seeing how the action sequences are laid out, like the panel layouts are really good, and Red Hood's dialogue is just on point. At the end of the issue, when Red Hood is the final person left, he's the last man standing because Deadshot, he's taken down. Deadshot actually like sacrifices himself to save Red Hood. Man-Bat, he's taken down. Like, the entirety of Jason Todd's team is done. He's the last guy left. He's chained up. He is basically powerless, and we see Cagey Beast get the go-ahead from Waller to kill him. And that final splash image of Cagey Beast about to kill Red Hood, but then Two-Face intervenes with the help of a big zombie Bane and zombie Mr. Freeze, is so dope. Like, Two-Face's line here is so cool. I really like Two-Face's role in this story. Him being like Amanda Waller type figure at the beginning, then him being exposed, and then him now trying to save Red Hood and work with him is cool. It's just seeing Two-Face flip his coin. Like, when I saw that in this issue, I got hyped. So I'm like, let's go. Like, Two-Face is here. It's about to get good. Now, aside from the cliffhanger, which gets me really excited for next issue, there's some other things I want to address with this issue. I really like the subplot involving Mr. Bloom. We get a very interesting character interaction here as Mr. Bloom, he gets away from the team and he catches up to this doctor, I think it's a doctor or scientist that he worked with in Batman Super Heavy, the Scott Snyder Batman story that Mr. Bloom debuted in. So we're actually getting some good character development here. Like, it's not just like Mr. Bloom is here, he's involved, and he's expendable. No, not at all. He's actually the most interesting character in this comic. Like, I never thought I'd say that. Like, I was excited when Mr. Bloom was here, but I expected him to get like a big role, but it looks like he's getting it. He's in the spotlight, and he has a really cool subplot that is slowly transitioning to the main plot. So yeah, guys, Task Force Z number 5. If you like good action, a good Mr. Bloom story, a good Red Hood story, and just some great artwork, then I highly recommend you pick up this issue. Next up our list, we got Batman The Knights number 2, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Carmine, and I'm gonna say the artwork by Carmine, really good. I really like his artwork. It fits the tone of this comic, and he draws some awesome images, especially images where Bruce and the cat burglar character in this issue are on top of like buildings and just looking out at Paris. It's really cool. Now to the story by Chip Zdarsky, it's very well written, it progresses the story, and you get a lot of cool moments in here. Like, there's one moment where Bruce, actually, the very first time Bruce runs into this cat burglar character, she gets away like that, and he looks out the window, he's like, how'd she just gone like that? So basically the whole idea of Batman just leaving like that every time Commissioner Gordon talks to him comes from this. It's not like Bruce had to learn it or he searched it out. No, he decided he wanted to learn it because he thought it was cool. Like he saw it, he's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'd like to do that. Which it's a simple thing, but I like it. It's a simple explanation for why he wanted to learn how to be gone in a quick manner. So I thought that was pretty cool. Aside from that though, we see Bruce have this interesting dynamic with this cat burglar woman who's another one of his mentors. The whole idea of this series is Bruce, he leaves Gotham and he goes on to travel the world and meets main mentors, and I like that idea. It's my favorite premise for a Batman comic in years. It's really cool. I've always wanted a comic just to be about this because Bruce has so many mentors. Henry Ducard, Ra's al Ghul, the Shaolin monks. Like, Bruce ran into so many people before he became Batman, and it's awesome to explore that here. I like seeing Bruce run into mentors, try to take big risks and learn how they do things. And Bruce in this issue decides that I may have to become a criminal to understand criminals. So when I really start to go into my war on crime, I understand my surroundings, I understand how criminals work, and I can take them down. So, hence why he's working with this cat burglar character in this issue. So yeah, guys, really great issue. We get a good cliffhanger at the end where Bruce, after going on this heist with this woman, he got injured, she's patching him up, but then she gets attacked by no one other than Henry Ducard. Yep, Henry Ducard, he's here, and he tells Bruce that him and this cat burglar lady are in big trouble. And that's how the issue ends. Finally, Bruce and Henry Ducard, they meet, and I'm excited to see where this story goes. Chip Zdarsky is writing this story very well. He's got me invested, and that's great. I like that Chip Zdarsky is proving that he's a good writer on Batman, because if you guys haven't heard yet, we just got an announcement this past week that Chip Zdarsky will be taking up the main Batman title starting on issue number 125 in July with Jorge Jimenez on artwork. And I am so excited. Just look at the quality of this Batman the Night series. I already know that Chip Zdarsky is going to bring his A-game on the main Batman title. And you already know Jorge Jimenez is one of the best artists in the comic industry. So he's going to bring his A-game, and we're going to get something special. But for now though, before Chip Zdarsky hops on the main Batman title, I highly recommend you start reading Batman the Night, especially this issue. Next up on our list, we got Detective Comics 1054. This is Shadows of the Bats, Part 8. The end of Act 2 of this event, written by Mariko Tamaki. And this story, it's alright. It's like, we start to actually get some plot progression in this issue. Like, the ending suggests that things are starting to heat up, Larry's finally getting some action, things are starting to get real, and that's good, but at the same time, I'm not invested. I'm not very interested in the story. Seeing Psycho Pirate and Nightwing go up against each other, that's kind of cool, and just Psycho Pirate's involvement is a little intriguing, but he's still not being handled all that well. Like, when he showed up at the end of Part 4, I got interested. But ever since then, he's been doing not that much. Yes, he's controlling all the inmates in Arkham Tower, but that's it. He's more of a pawn to Dr. Ware than him being actually a good villain, which sucks. I want Psycho Pirates to be a villain. I want him to actually do some messed up things. I don't want him to just be a pawn to somebody else's scheme. It's not that cool. And the Bat family in this issue, they kind of wait around, or at least in the past few issues, they've been waiting around. They finally start to take some action this issue, but it just feels dragged out. This story feels like it could have been like maybe 5 issues, but they stretched it out to like 12 issues, and it's not that good. The pacing's very flawed, the dialogue's not that good, and even the artwork in this issue is weak. This story started out with Ivan Rice as the artist, and it was really good. But as the story's gone on, we got more and more fill-in artists. And no offense to the fill-in artists, but it just don't hold up the same as artwork by Ivan Reis. Like, I want Ivan Reis back, because he did great artwork in the first few issues. But now, this artist we have in this issue, it's not that good. It looks rushed, the facial expressions aren't that good, and it takes me out of the story. So yeah, Detective Comics 1054, if you've been enjoying Shadows the Bat, read it. Like, I think you'll enjoy this issue. But if you haven't, this issue will just make you not enjoy it that much more. Like, it'll get you less invested, get you less interested, as it's done to me. Next up on our list, we got Batman, Catwoman, number 10. Written by Tom King, artwork by Clayman. And guys, this issue, it's alright. We get some good plot progression in the past, present, and future. Just seeing Catwoman go up against the Joker. Now, this entire series has been kind of mixed for me, because as I've liked how it's explored Catwoman, I haven't really liked the connection at Joker, like their relationship. Like, I like exploring Catwoman, like, that's cool, but at times it goes a little too far with her relationship with Joker. Also, I was excited for the series when it was announced that Phantasm would be involved, but Phantasm is not really involved here at all. Past, like, issue number 5, she's done nothing at all. And Batman, this series is literally titled Batman Catwoman, but it's really just a Catwoman story. Batman is not even in this issue. Also, Phantasm isn't. This is a fully Catwoman versus Joker issue, and we get a little bit of Helena in there as well. So yeah, if you wanted a Batman Catwoman story, this isn't it. If you wanted a Batman Phantasm story, this isn't it. If you want a Catwoman and Joker focused story, then yeah, I guess this is good. It's alright. But really what sells this issue is Clayman's artwork. Like, Clayman, finally he's back. He's not been on this series for the past few issues. We've been getting Liam Sharp instead, which Liam Sharp is a good artist, but he's no Clayman. Clayman just brings a realistic approach to his artwork, and it's really cool. Certain images in this book where Joker is in the snow and Catwoman is jumping down at him, it looks amazing. It's one of my favorite splash images I've seen in a comic book all year. Clayman gives his all in this issue. Like, he delivers top-notch artwork, and I really like that. So yeah, Batman Catwoman number 10. If you've been enjoying the story, check out this issue, but really check out this issue for Clayman's great artwork. Now, next up on our list, we got Aquaman number 1. This series focuses on Arthur Curry, Aquaman, teaming up with Jackson Hyde, Aquaman. They're both Aquaman now, and in the beginning of the issue, they take down Ocean Master, and we just see the setup of the series. An interesting story is about to be told, and I'm excited. If you're an Aquaman fan, I recommend this miniseries, because not only are you getting an interesting dynamic between Arthur Curry and Jackson Hyde, but at the end of the issue, Jackson Hyde finds out that Arthur is working with his father, Black Manta. So Aquaman and Black Manta are working together, and I really like that. That's very cool. This could lead a very intriguing direction, and yeah, if you're just an Aquaman fan, I highly recommend this issue because it has good artwork and a good story that's being set up. Now, next up on our list, we got Aquaman, Green Arrow, Deep Target, number 5, and this issue, we wrap up loose ends. We start to get to the end game of the story. Finally, Aquaman and Green Arrow, they switch back. Arthur is back in his body, Oliver is back in his body, and they're about to find out what's actually been going on. Stop the main villain. And I think this story is very interesting. It's action-packed. We get a lot of action in this issue, a lot of cool double page spreads of dinosaurs. Like, just seeing Green Arrow and Aquaman ride dinosaurs above a city, that's just so dope. Like, this is the epitome of adventure. Like, this is an adventure-oriented comic book. If you like adventure, if you like two of your favorite DC superheroes teaming up on a wild adventure story, then check out this issue. Now, next up on our list, we got Human Target number 5. And this issue, we get some interesting backstory on how Christopher Chance came up with the human target idea. And I like that. That's the good part of the issue. Like, Tom King writes this backstory in a very good manner. Like, it's paced well, we get some good reveals. At the end of the issue, I'm interested to see what happens next. But what I don't like about this issue is how Martian Manhunter is treated. We see that he has like sex with Fire, and then he cries afterwards because he remembers his family. And then Fire shows up later, and she's like, "Get your shit together, like you're a goddamn manhunter." And it's just so forced. It doesn't fit. It's embarrassing to see Martian Manhunter like this. Like, it makes this character look terrible, and I don't like it. It's just the dialogue is bad too. Like, really? Like, that's the best Tom King could have came up with, and I just don't like when Tom King does this to characters. He has an interesting story to be told with Christopher Chance and Ice. Like, there's a cool story being told there, but for some reason, Tom King has to have this subplot about Martian Manhunter that makes the character look terrible. And I don't like that. Like, I don't like when my favorite DC superheroes being treated like that. So, yeah, Human Target, he been enjoying the series? Great. But be warned that, yeah, you might get a good story of Christopher Chance in this issue, but you also might get a really bad, actually, I'm not going to say you might. You are going to get a bad subplot with Martian Manhunter. Like, I can't see one person enjoying Martian Manhunter being like this. Him in bed, crying after having sex. Like that, I don't like seeing one of my favorite characters like that. But to the next comic that came out, we got Blue and Gold, number 6. And this is another fun issue written by Dan Jurgens. We see Rip Hunter go to like this alien world and rescue Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. We see Blue Beetle actually almost kill Booster Gold. Like, they have a gladiator fight, and it's really dope. Just the artwork in this issue, it fits the tone. It's exciting. Like, this entire issue is fast-paced. We get some good dialogue. I like the dynamic between Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, and I really like the end of the issue where Rip Hunter, after saving Booster Gold, we get a little backstory on how Rip Hunter is the son of Booster Gold, and Rip Hunter, he'll keep saving his father, but he'll never reveal that Booster Gold is his father. Like, he can't do that. That'll mess with the timeline. I just really like that father and son dynamic where the father doesn't know that his son is always saving him. Like, that's really cool. And the end of the issue, we see Jaime Reyes, the second Blue Beetle, show up. He's gonna help out, but then he gets attacked, and now he's controlled. So next issue, the new Blue Beetle is gonna fight off against Booster Gold and Ted Cord Blue Beetle. So that'll be really cool. That'll probably be action-packed. And yeah, we only got 2 issues left of this main series, but I already know Dan Jurgens is gonna wrap it up in a very good manner and just a fun manner. This entire main series has been very fun, and it just shows why Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are one of the best, like, just friendships in the DC universe. Next up on our list, we got The Flash, number 779. In this issue, we see Wally West, Jai, and Irie team up to take down Calypso on Gem World. We get a lot of good action, the artwork is phenomenal, the story is fast-paced, just the dynamic between Wally and his kids is amazing. It's really nice. And seeing like Irie get named the Surge by the end of the issue, a superhero name, that's cool. And just how everything wraps up. It doesn't feel rushed at all. It wraps up well. We get good action. Calypso, he's still intimidating. Like, he goes out fighting, and Wally takes him down in a very epic manner. Like, seeing Jai and Irie clear the path. They fight off against the Justly Dark, while Wally just runs through and eventually, like, just stabs the Calypso, takes him down. It's just so awesome. Now, by the end of the issue, everything's wrapped up, right? It's all nice. And now Wally's gonna go participate in the upcoming War for Earth 3 crossover. But then we get a cliffhanger in this issue that is very interesting. We see that Linda now has speedster powers. So the entire West family are speedsters. That is something cool. Like, I really like that. That gets me excited to see how Jeremy Adams will explore it. Like, Jeremy Adams has been giving his A game on this title. He's been delivering ever since he jumped on. And yeah, I have faith in him. I'm excited to see what he does next. Now, another thing I want to talk about, actually my favorite parts of this issue, is when the Spectre shows up. After Wally defeats Eclipso, Spectre shows up and he tells Wally that God was watching him. This is the whole entire time. One question, kind of like a plot hole up to this point, is how the heck does Eclipso not control Wally but everyone else? And turns out God was watching Wally's back. He's watching Wally's back, protecting him so that Wally could save everyone. And just this moment is nice. Just know that God, the man upstairs, is watching Wally, and Spectre's the one to tell him. It's so great. And yeah, I just like that. Like, Jeremy Adams is a fellow Christian, and for him to like put that into his comics, and he's not like he forces it, like it actually makes sense in the story. And me being a Christian, like, I like that. Like, it's just so cool. And yeah, this entire issue just shows why Wally is awesome, why his family is so cool, Giant Irie, now Linda too, and just how Jeremy Adams is the perfect writer to be on this series right now. So yeah, if you're a Flash fan, I highly recommend you pick up this issue. Moving on to the last new DC comic that came out this past week, we got Action Comics number 1040. Written by Philip K. Johnson, and in this issue we got the War World Saga Part 5. And this issue progressed the plot, we get some good action, great artwork, but my favorite moment in this issue is when these two kids, these two Warzoons, are praising Mongol, and then Mongol walks up to them, and he's like, alright, one of you kill the other. Prove to me that you're a Warzoon. Prove to me that you're loyal, that you would kill your brother or kill your sibling for me. And they're like, what? And then we see Clark, Superman, who's still a prisoner of Warworld. He's still fighting these gladiator matches, which are drawn really cool. And it's just dope seeing Superman fight in a gladiatorial match. Like, that's just so cool. But he intervenes, he protects the two kids, and we get a short fight between Superman and Mongol. The fight itself is choreographed very well, the panel layouts are really good, and obviously Superman, he doesn't win. Like, Mongol shows why he's intimidating, he shows why he's a force to be reckoned with. But still, the moment is very strong. Just seeing Superman step up to protect people he doesn't even know and fight against Mongol, put his life on the line, is just a Superman thing to do. Like, this entire story has shown Superman inspiring hope, him not giving up, keep going, trying to defeat Mongol. And Philip K. Johnson, he just knows how to write Superman. He knows the character. And this issue proves that. So yeah, you've been enjoying the War World Saga so far. I highly recommend you check out this issue. Now, since we were just talking about Superman, the backhaul pull for today is going to be Superman themed. And it's actually an Elseworld story. This Elseworld story is titled Superman, Last Son of Earth. And the premise of the story is basically, instead of Superman being sent from Krypton to Earth, he's being sent from Earth to Krypton. So he gets sent to Krypton, and he finds the Green Lantern ring. So we get Superman, who still has the powers of Superman, he eventually gets them in the story, with the Green Lantern ring, so he's practically unstoppable. And he meets up with the Guardians, and he eventually makes it back to Earth to protect Earth from Lex Luthor. So we still got that rivalry between Superman and Lex Luthor, but the big change is that Superman now has Green Lantern powers. He's a Green Lantern. And it is so dope, guys. This story is amazing. It's well written. The artwork is phenomenal. And just Superman being a Green Lantern, I like that. And the switch up between Superman, instead of being sent from Krypton to Earth, instead it's him being sent from Earth to Krypton. Like, that's a simple switch up, but it changes Superman's story in a big way. So yeah, guys, I'm looking at it right now. The covers are really cool. Like, the covers are pretty great. Like, I really like how the covers are. The first one looks dope. Like, Superman's just being sent off. And then the second cover is my favorite, though. Superman has a Green Lantern in the middle, Lex Luthor to the left, and then the Guardians to the right. Like, that's a cool cover. So yeah, if you like Superman, if you like Green Lantern, if you like DC Elseworld stories, then I highly recommend Superman Last Son of Earth. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me your pick of the week down below. Also, tell me your thoughts on Superman Last Son of Earth. Like the video, make sure you're subscribed, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my next video where I cover all the new DC comics that came out the past week. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up the video. Thanks for watching, and peace out.